Welcome.
Hey guys, welcome in. It's College SportsCast. We are going to be doing our game day pick'ems with a special guest tonight. We got Travis Jennings from Bar Banter podcast on with us tonight. Hey Travis, we appreciate
What's going
you
on,
being
Brad?
on
Happy
with
to
us.
be here.
Yeah, man, we
Happy to be
appreciate you
here.
being on with us. We look forward to it. Probably going to have a little fun. So, just want to say thanks for being on with us right off the top. And we'll also have John Roberts with us tonight. And John Hammonds, again, may show up, may not. I'm not sure. But we're going to do a little game day pick'ems. Travis has got couple of fun bits, 2 or 3 fun bits from his show. We're going to talk some movies and team trivia, team names, and a couple of other things, fun bits that Travis has put together for us from the Bar Banter podcast. So we're kind of doing a little mixture of the 2 shows tonight and have a little bit of fun. And John Roberts probably is going to enjoy this.
A lot. I'm going to enjoy it a lot. Hey, why don't you go ahead? Hey, Travis, why don't you go ahead and plug your socials just at the very top of the show?
Sure, yeah. So you can find the Bar Banter podcast on Twitter at the _Bar Banter. I can't even read. And you can find our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you listen to your podcast, you can probably find our podcast. So if you can. Hey, Pamela, what's going on? Pamela's like our number 1 listener other than you, John, by the way.
Sweet.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Are you guys audio? Are you just audio? Do y'all do audio video?
Right now, the podcast episodes are just audio. We have dabbled into some short form content on, on Instagram and YouTube. So we've got essentially clips from the show that are kind of funny that I put pictures to and have some background music for. But eventually one day we will probably get into some sort of streaming. But until then, we're just doing audio because that's really all we have time for right now.
Right. Well, that's how we started, was just audio as well. We kind of went to this restream right around Thanksgiving. So we're still kind of new to this live streaming as well. So, but we're having a little fun with it, though.
Indeed, we are.
Go ahead, finish. Do you have more that you need to shout out?
I mean, if you are listening right now and you have not heard the podcast, essentially it's myself and 3 to 4 other guys debating probably the most useless topics you could ever think of, things that are really not important to society, but we feel the need to debate them in a kind of bar/restaurant setting, even though we're at our homes. But it's just
wait. Hold on.
Wait, what?
You're not at a bar when you do this?
Well, I'm at a bar. This is my bar. I'm literally under this. I'm Harry Potter right now. I'm under my own staircase at my own home.
Oh.
Because all of the other houses either with sleeping children or my wife, who doesn't like to be disturbed. So I'm relegated to being under the stairs in order to do what I enjoy doing, which is
you go in your
talking
corner
about
now.
nonsense.
The people under the stairs.
Go talk about nonsense in that corner over.
Wasn't that a movie? The People Under the Stairs or something like that? A horror movie? I think it was.
I didn't find any skeletons when I cleaned this out, so I think
that's
okay.
good. That's good.
Yeah.
So
all right. So occasionally on your show, y'all do talk some sports, though, right?
Yeah.
Bar Banter would be a little bit of sports topics here and there.
Yeah, we've covered things. We've covered the Super Bowl, and we've covered the halftime show. We've covered fantasy football. We've covered sports traditions. Lots of things around sports. We haven't ever really.
Y'all did superstitions on the last episode. Y'all did.
Yeah. We did
superstitions.
Sports superstitions.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So we've kind of danced around sports, and a bunch of us are big sports buffs. However, we haven't we haven't found a way to really incorporate a I don't want to say a serious sports discussion, but a normal sports discussion in a comedic format just yet.
Right.
Because ultimately we are doing comedy, so
right.
I want to get there, and we actually did. We tried to start doing, what was it called? Day drinking, which was our kind of our spin-off.
Oh yeah, I do remember this.
Yeah, we had just like, instead of an hour-long podcast episode, we had like a 20-minute version where we would talk things like, I don't even remember the topics anymore. It's been so long, but we want to get into sports. I'm a big UGA fan. Ben's a big FSU fan. Rick is a big Georgia Tech fan from the sporting world. We're all from Georgia pretty much, so we're all kind of Falcons fan, except for Ben. He's a Bucks fan and he's a jerk.
Well, we're both Packers fans.
That's
fine. We're both
fine.
Packers fans. Yeah,
that's right.
I may or may not like Aaron Rodgers, but I have nothing against the Packers as a team. So
there you go.
Well, Aaron Rodgers has got a little. I don't know. He's not what he used to be, not on the field, but off the field. He's just got a little, I don't know, fly or something.
He's an asshole?
Yeah,
I mean,
he's always been an asshole.
Yes. My favorite Rodgers as a person is Jordan. But as an athlete, I mean, I like Aaron on the field. I like Jordan off the field.
Yeah.
His brother Jordan, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, his brother Jordan's probably a better person.
Vanderbilt Jordan? Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Yes, the SEC network.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jordan Rodgers.
Yeah,
the
I know who you're talking about.
Talk to his brother, yeah.
Does he not?
But yeah.
There was at some point, I think, when Aaron was dating Olivia Munn, I think that's who it was, that Aaron did not talk to his family or something for like a year or something.
Oh, he had because Jordan would go public with it and say, like, you don't even call your mother and da 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 da. I have to do all this stuff because you're not doing it. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that had happened.
I remember some of that stuff. I just didn't know. Basically, is what I was asking. I have no idea.
I don't really go into that.
All right. So to start the show out, I guess, since you're a Georgia fan, we'll talk a little bit of college football playoff championship game coming up here on Monday night, and let you kind of give. Let me start by asking you this: how was your Saturday night, late Saturday night, and did you think you were going to survive that?
The short answer is no. I went into the game maybe a little overconfident because I despise Ohio State. I do not like the team. I think they're perpetually overrated, and they usually
are.
Right, and most of the Big Ten is. However, when I realized that, and I hadn't watched a lot of Ohio State, but I saw the quarterback, and I can't. Oh my God, his name is escaping me. But he was throwing to Marvin Harrison Jr. And I know Stroud. I was about to say Braxton Miller, but that was like 10 years ago.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah. I don't know why that popped into my head. But when I realized that we are susceptible to the big play, and I knew that Marvin Harrison Jr. is a monster, I was like, oh, this might not go well for us. And
he burned y'all in the first quarter.
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot. And made some incredible plays in the back of the end zone that just
he's done that all year. Marvin Harrison Jr., if you don't know, he's done that all year long. Just some incredible like foot touches and stuff, bounds. I mean, just incredible.
I wonder where he learned that from.
I'm telling you, I'm not so sure that he's not better than his dad. Maybe. We'll see. I mean, his dad. Yeah.
He's bigger than his dad. He's like
he is
6'3" or something like that, 6'4". And if he has 80% of his dad's just athletic prowess in that frame that he has, he's going to be a perennial Pro Bowler. No question.
I'm telling you, I've seen him several times this year catch a pass going out of bounds, and one time he caught it and his body was already out of bounds, and when he caught the ball, he just put his foot back and just tapped his toe, in bounds. And of course, in college, you just got to get 1 foot down,
right?
You don't need 2; you just need 1.
And so, and you guys will appreciate this. So what was happening is, and John knows this, I have a 2-month-old, and he is still learning how to sleep. And so 11:55.
God rest him.
5 minutes before New Year's.
Yeah.
Ohio State just drove 2-3 plays, whatever, to the 23-yard line, down by 1 point. And I hear crying.
Oh no.
And I'm like, I can't just let this kid cry. My wife is going to wake up. My other son is going to wake up. I can't.
Yeah, because your wife is asleep, right?
Right, and she takes the next shift. So I take usually up until about 2. If he gets up anytime between like 7 and 2, I get him. Anytime after 2, she gets him. So that's just how we do it. And so I was like, I got to go get him. So I paused the TV. I'm like, okay, they're on the 30. They just need a field goal. There's like 23 seconds left. I know what's about to happen, but I'm going to pause it and come back and watch it. So I get the kid a bottle and put him back down. I come back and I push play. The TV had gone dark. I push play and I'm watching Stetson Bennett get a trophy. I'm like, why am I watching the SEC championship again? Why are they playing this? I had no clue that they just ended it and went to the award ceremony, and so I had to go back several times to try to find it, and finally I just went to my phone to find it, and I had to watch it about 5 times to really believe that he missed it.
Well, the kick was ugly.
It was bad.
Yeah, so
ugly.
So they mismanaged a lot of stuff getting to. I mean, they got into field goal range, but then they mismanaged once they got there, and so they should have been a lot closer.
Georgia got a tackle for loss too, so took them back a little bit.
Almost the second time too.
Yeah, and then but then it was a 50-yard field goal, and I mean the kicker just overcooked it. He swung it.
He was just trying too hard.
He's trying too hard. He didn't just let it happen, and he yanked it to the left, and
that was a shank. That wasn't a yank. That was a shank.
What was funny is he was doing that right around midnight your time.
Yep.
It was
exactly
as New Year's is striking.
Yeah.
He's getting it, because I was sitting there going, "Oh, this is gonna be perfect." You're gonna watch the ball drop and this ball drop all at the same time.
Yep. It was about 3 seconds before midnight is what I was told, because I was in a dark room feeding a baby, so I had no clue. But my buddy Drew, who's on the podcast, is a bartender, and he said that bar everyone was glued. No one was watching the ball drop. No one cared, because they're all glued to the TVs at the bar, and they just used that as the ball drop.
As the ball drop. Yeah.
So,
I can tell you this. So I was watching it. I'm not a Georgia fan. Okay. I'm a Kentucky fan. All right. And, which I was pulling for Georgia, because I do pull for SEC in situations like that and stuff. All right. But, I'm watching it, and I'm just amazed that Georgia can, the one thing that I will say, when you guys scored, when Stetson Bennett scored and there was 54 seconds on the clock, I said from the very beginning, I said, Stetson, you left too much time on the clock. CJ Stroud has run all over y'all all day long. Yep. I said, y'all left too much time on the clock. And sure enough, they did. And to John Roberts, what he was talking about, if they had managed the first 2 or 3 plays a little better, because they had 2 timeouts.
Yep.
The first 2 or 3 plays, they let the clock run. after they had run the ball and stuff. And, they probably lost 15 seconds or so, in those first couple of plays. And then Mikael Williams got hurt on consecutive plays, and they got some extra timeouts to write up plays because he was laying on the field. And then they finally used one of the timeouts. So they wound up really with about 3 or 4 timeouts when they really just had 2, but that was because of injury timeout with Mikael Williams. But anyways, so I was amazed. I was like, oh my God, that as soon as he kicked it, I'm like, that's the ugliest kick. I
was thinking that there's a possibility that Georgia would block it just because I thought maybe
done
he'd
it
kick
before.
it too low.
Yeah.
And just to kind of bring it back to what we were talking about earlier, and this is before the show, and that was that while I worked at the restaurant that I worked at in Georgia, was I was working the night of the Alabama-Tennessee Mount Cody blocked kick.
Ooh, yeah.
So the bar at the restaurant was packed out, and it's all Georgia fans, and they're all pulling against Alabama. And it's kind of bad because it's, do you want Tennessee to win or do you want Alabama to win this? But with Nick Saban being at Alabama, him being early in his tenure at Alabama, I think they were pulling pretty heavy for Lane Kiffin against Nick Saban, and that
was the Lane Kiffin year.
Yeah, that was the Lane Kiffin year.
Yeah.
And what was funny was I was walking around and people were going, "Oh my God, are you not watching this?" 'Cause I'm an Auburn fan, so watching all this, and I said, look, I can guarantee you this thing's going to get blocked or something stupid's going to happen. He's going to miss it. And sure enough,
lo and behold,
it happens. And they're like, "How did you know this?" I said, "I'm an Auburn fan. Alabama always always works out like this." So when the Ohio State kicker's coming up, I did the exact same thing. I said, "Look, he's missing this. But he's really good at kicks.
They
whatever,
kept saying
and
he
stuff
was
like
a
this."
good
And I was
kicker.
like, "He's a great kicker," and da 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 da. And I'm like, "Yeah, great. He's not going to make it. I don't care what you say. It's not happening." And lo and behold,
yep.
And I was like,
I can't fault them because it was 50 plus yards, and in my book, if you miss a kick from 50 plus yards,
it should be held against you.
Your fault. It's kind of like status quo. It's like you should have gotten it.
Well, if you notice, the kicker actually helped the holder up and was kind of consoling the holder.
Yep.
He picked up the holder because the holder holder's already on one knee, but the holder just drops his head and he walked up to the holder and picked him up.
So I think part of it might have been the holder, maybe not, the way it was held.
I think the way that I think he just overcooked it. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So
I was just going by the kicker's reaction because the kicker was kind of consoling the holder instead of the other way around.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right. So did you get to watch any of the TCU Michigan game before that?
I did. And as I stated earlier, I despise Ohio State. And while I'm not a Michigan fan, I do try to, if they're playing Ohio State, I pull for Michigan I will say go blue. I won't wear the Michigan colors, but I'm, intents and purposes, a Michigan fan for that game. And so I got to watch some of that game, and watching I guess it was the pregame stats when they're throwing them up on the board, and I saw the Michigan quarterback was a sophomore, and he only had maybe, I think it was like 12 touchdowns or 20. It wasn't a lot of touchdowns on the season. Right. And then they showed Dugan, and he had like 40 touchdowns on the season, and he is just, a monster. And I saw him play in whatever game they lost to not make to almost not get in, and
the Big 12
I was
championship.
just like, but yeah, there's the championship, and I was like, oh no, Michigan's not going to win this. And lo and behold, I was right. But it was exciting to watch. It was
a fun game to watch.
Yeah, it was
Right.
It was fun to watch Michigan come back and like try to make it a game, and they did. And that's yeah.
But TCU, man, they can play fast, score fast, and they can hit those long balls and those home runs and stuff. That's kind of maybe if Georgia does have a weakness, that might be their weakness.
Their weakness is the secondary, so that's exactly where it's at.
Yeah,
and everyone will say, and I don't know how often you guys look at Georgia stuff or Georgia forums or whatever, but everyone on the Georgia forums basically hates on Keely Ringo, who got the interception last year against Bama in the championship.
And what was the name that I said on Tuesday?
Ringo.
The guy that is. There you go.
Yeah.
But do you know that he's projected as a top round, first, second round guy?
Yeah, he's a 5-star.
Yeah, he's like a safety playing corner. He's a little lost out there when it comes to players who are actually good at playing wide receiver, like Marvin Harrison Jr. They're not on the same level, and so if you have players out there that are maybe playing the wrong position for their body type, or like Ringo's hips miserably bad, and not turn them to life. Is he opportunistic? Is he fast? Is he like an athlete? Yeah. And so he's going to make any bad quarterback look even worse, or just a bot play. He hopes he's there to do it. But if he's trying to cover a great wide receiver and say that, no, not a shot. So he needs that safety help, and so do the other corners. They're okay, but yeah, to John's point, our secondary is our weak point, and if you can get it over the top, we're done for. And that's why, and I know, Brad, you'll probably get here in a second, this is going to be another good slugfest between Georgia and TCU.
Right.
After watching TCU a few times this year, it's kind of what I expect. But at the same time, your brain is been transitioned to think that Georgia's that much better than anybody else. So you just kind of transition to think that Georgia's going to win by 20 points. But then you watch with your own eyes and you think, you know what, I believe TCU can, maybe hit some of these things and hang with them for a while. Maybe take a lead here and there. You just never know.
It'll either be close and either team is going to has a 50-50 shot, or Georgia will bury them in the dirt. Like that.
Right.
There's no scenario where TCU is up by 25, 30 points. It's either going to come down to the last play and 50-50 shot, or it'll be a 24-point.
I mean, it could be a point where TCU could take a 14-point lead. Georgia comes back. It'd look like a lot like what the Ohio State game, or it will be that Georgia takes a 14-point lead and TCU in the third, fourth quarter comes back and makes it a much tighter game. And that's the one where all the Georgia fans have the tight butt cheeks. Yep. And they're going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then the one thing that they do have going, even though, for all intents and purposes, Stetson Bennett is not your prototypical quarterback. He's not. Nope. But that guy's got moxie. Yep. Same as Max Duggan, and that's the thing. They can be 14 points down, and they still believe that they're going to come back and win. They still believe that they're going to come back and win until that clock hits 000. And that's
and both quarterbacks
either team's got going for them. Yeah, and both quarterbacks have got it. So both teams believe that even late in the game, they're down 14, they should be able to come back. So the way, like, if Georgia's got them in the fourth quarter, up 21 or more, then Georgia should walk away with it. If it's any closer than that, then it's a ball game until it's 0-0.
Yep, I believe. So John Hammonds has joined us. So, hey, John. What's up, Hammonds?
I'm about to throw the login out the window.
You just got a new computer. What's wrong with it?
It's not the computer. Apparently, I'm going into my email, and when I do, it's asking me for my it's wanting me to log in through Facebook, and I don't do it like that. On Mom's computer, I was using hers for a while, and it just connected me to you all.
Right.
And now it's wanting me to log in another way, and I don't know how to do that.
Okay.
And I don't know how, but
I know you just got a new computer that you're using like at Christmas time. So
yeah, and I finally got through.
Have you tried turning it off and turning it back on again? Sorry, well, I'm in IT. I'm in IT. That's just the joke we say.
But either way, awesome. What are we on now? Are we talking about Georgia and TCU?
Yeah, Georgia and TCU.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was kind of going over with Travis and talking about the two games on Saturday. He's a Georgia fan, kind of letting him talk.
We'll get a Georgia fan's perspective.
His thoughts from Saturday. Is what I was doing. We're about ready
with the whole. I'm kind of interested in the action movie talk because there's a lot that
we'll do that in a minute.
I'm wanting to get that.
Hold on, I got to get another round.
Travis kind of lead that. All right, I'll let Travis kind of lead that in a minute. But go ahead, Travis. So what do you think about the TCU and Georgia game? It'll be close, or Georgia runs with it, one of the two?
So if I'm being objective, right? I yes, I'm a diehard Georgia fan. My gut tells me we're going to win by 45. I know that's not going to happen. So if I'm being objective, I know that if Georgia, if you look at some of TCU's strengths, obviously Duggan is their biggest strength. Their next biggest strength is it Kendra Miller, right? The running back.
Well, he got hurt in that last game. So what is his what's his status? Yeah, because he got hurt, and that's when Georgia actually mounted their comeback was during that time.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, Michigan started mounting their comeback was during the time that the running back was hurt, and he was out the rest of the game. But their backup running back was doing things. Like he's like a bowling ball.
17 carries for 100 yards.
And it was just yeah. So, but the question is I don't know what the extent of that injury was. Whatever it was, he could not come back in because he went out
TCU
before
has
halftime.
A receiver too that's way up on the draft boards.
Quentin Johnson,
right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Johnston.
Johnston. Yeah.
And so my point is, what we couldn't do against Ohio State was contain CJ Stroud, and so he created plays with his legs and made them two-dimensional. If Georgia
and Duggan's does some of the same thing.
That's my point. If Georgia can make TCU one-dimensional, it's done. So if we can stop their actual run game and tire out Duggan in the first half, we win. That's the key to success. Yes, they're gonna get plays. They're gonna get points. They're probably. I would say it's gonna be like a 32-24 type scenario. 32, it's gonna be a one-score game.
You got to think though.
Right.
You was talking about tiring them out. Kansas State did the same thing. and Duggan come back.
Kid's got heart. Kid is
he's not going
basically he brought him back. Basically, he brought him back by himself that night.
By himself. Yeah.
Can he do it again a week later? Can he?
Yeah.
Like it's going. If we take away the run game, and he has to scramble for his life in the first half. If he's doing it in the second half, and we don't stop him early, they have a shot for sure. But if it's one of those lockdown, they've got 15 yards on the ground in the first half, it'll be a 1.5 score victory for Georgia. So I do think we're going to win. It's not. I think it'll be an 8 to 10 point game. That's about it, though. It'll be a good, solid, butt clenching game, as John said.
There you go, butt clenching. That's
butt clenching
that's
game.
One.
It'll come, yeah.
So the Real Murderth is on with us from the Real Fresh channel. So just want to say, hey, we appreciate you being on with us. All right. So let's go to one of your topics, and I'll kind of let you lead this. Talk about the best in movie topic that you have for us.
Hey, let's lead it off with how you open the show. Not necessarily the cold open or whatever, or the intro, but like what it is when you come in and the first thing you're saying.
So you want me to go on today's podcast?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, no, okay.
That or hey, I've got something.
Oh, you want that one? Okay.
That's.
But first, we're gonna do a quick round robin. What's everyone drinking? John, do you want to start us off?
I will start us off.
Yeah. What do you got going there?
So as you can see in my handle here, it has my name and it says "Drink Local Beham," and I am doing just that with Good People Pale Ale.
Where's that from?
It is from Birmingham. It is a brewery about 5-6 miles from my house.
Cool. Now you get to pass it to someone else.
There you go. And John Hammonds.
I'm drinking Diet Pepsi.
Diet Pepsi also a good choice.
You're a designated driver.
He is the DD.
I used to.
Hey, I guess I'm going to be a designated driver too.
Yeah.
What do you got? Pass it on, John. Pass it on.
I got wild cherry Pepsi. What I got.
Ooh.
So you're in the wild department. So you have a little bit more extra step.
I'm going.
All right, Brad, why don't you pass it on? Brad, pass it to
where we pass it.
Yeah, you got to pass it to the one person that hasn't said. There you go.
Yeah.
I'm drinking Bullet and Coke because I had some Coke left over from Chick-fil-A, and I have a bottle of Bullet behind me, and I just thought that would happen to work perfectly together. So just went plain and simple as I normally do. But guys, we need to talk about, and I don't have a good segue, John, on the top of my head. I know you're probably a little disappointed. There's not a lot of action going on tonight.
When is there ever a good segue?
I will say this.
All good.
Since we're on the topic of the best action movies, anything with Bruce Willis is absolutely insane.
Insane in a good way, though, right?
Yeah. Now there's a few of Bruce Willis's movies that kind of are out there. You know what I mean? Like there's a few.
Of course.
That
he's got some comedies.
Yeah, and then he's got a couple that just didn't make no sense. Like the one with the one where he's in jail and they take him to a remoted island to be free. Do you know that movie, Travis? The Apex.
I don't know that one off the top of my head.
The Apex movie. I think it's called the Apex. But that movie just didn't seem to make sense to me. It was like science fiction. The movie was science fiction. And
it's not 12 Monkeys.
I just didn't care much. I just didn't care much for that one. So, but a majority of his, most of the diehards, my favorite of his is A Good Day to Die Hard, the one where he goes back to see his son, that his son don't want nothing to do with him. And he goes over and he helps his son defeat whoever's trying to chase his son down. I thought that was a really good movie.
Mm-hmm.
Anything Vin Diesel's in is a good movie too.
Can't go wrong with Vin Diesel. Let's be honest.
No, you can't.
Brad,
All
what
right,
about
Travis, go for it.
you? No, you guys go first. Best action movie, Brad. What's your take?
All right, so I'm a little older than the rest of y'all probably, so I'm going to go back a few years. Rambo: First Blood was when I was that was a great action movie. I really liked that. John mentioned the Die Hard. I mean, I would go original Die Hard movie. Mad Max a long time ago, in the early 80s, was a pretty great movie. Raiders of the Lost Ark. With that,
Is that an action movie?
Top Gun Maverick might be one of my favorites.
That was incredible.
So you don't think
It was.
Raiders of the Lost Ark is an action movie?
No. So
No.
he whether or not John thinks it's an action movie, he's telling you defend your position. Why do you think it's an action movie? Don't come
There
back
you
with
go.
him.
Well,
with
I
another
mean,
question. You gotta explain
there is a little bit of comedy in it, but now, he's basically, has action through the movie, trying to, I say it's an action movie. He's doing all this
Gladiator might
defeating
be
stuff and everything.
Gladiator might be the best action movie of all time.
So that was actually going to be my pick, was Gladiator. Just
Gladiator?
from Gladiator.
Yeah, it's up there.
Because it has the story to go along with it. It's a complete movie. If you're thinking about best action movie, you could. If you want just action, go see a Michael Bay film. Go see some explosions. Go see some hot girls. Whatever. If that's what you want, nothing wrong with that. But if you want the best action movie, you need real action, real story, real.
The original Terminator.
Actions.
The original Terminator.
Great movie.
That or T2 Judgment Day.
Yeah,
Also,
T2.
Well,
all up there.
Yeah,
Dark Knight. You can consider the Batman movie.
Some of the best sequels, and that could be another topic later on. But some of the best sequel movies, T2, Dark Knight, stuff like that.
Right.
So,
yeah.
But I'm going to weigh in on this. I'm going to weigh on this. I like. I'm going to go with, and I'm going to put in Top Gun Maverick as
That's
mine.
what I said earlier.
Okay.
I haven't seen Top Gun Maverick, so I can't really comment on that.
You need to get out and watch it, man. Like, you really need to watch it.
End the stream right now and go watch it. It's
correct.
I've not watched
it.
In this podcast right now and go watch it.
Here's the deal with that movie right there is that they made a sequel 30 years after the original and knocked it out of the park. And it is to the point, like, you could easily have just gone in and just hit on every one of the old tropes of that movie and tried to capitalize on everything that movie was good at. But they didn't just go back and relive, that movie. They actually did, kind of did stuff to make it stand on its own. And of course, with Tom Cruise being the nutball that he is, to wanting to do everything, like actually do everything, they all were flying the planes. They all had to be trained on how to fly and everything like that. And like at the end of the movie, and I'm not spoiling anything, but the plane that he's flying at the end of the later on in the movie is his plane. So
is it really? Like
one of those planes? He owns that one.
Oh,
Yeah.
And what I tell you, another one that is the John Wick trilogy.
John Wick. I got
That's
that
great.
list.
A lot of people, John Wick is like the. I think the first one. Have you watched the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where they kill his dog and he goes after him.
Of course. Yeah.
Oh yeah, John Wick's a good movie.
Then it just keeps getting deeper and deeper into conspiracies. Like it goes way down a rabbit hole to the top guy. Like,
I'm not so
that's what
sure that John Wick's not the Matrix.
And again, one of those things about Keanu Reeves is he has done the gun training. Everything that he's doing, he actually could do that. So,
yes, absolutely,
and
yeah,
with precision, where he could do all the action and be able to fire a gun and hit a target and actually hit the target bullseye, doing everything. So, he's had that training and does that. The way that this podcast likes to do everything is that everybody kind of consensus on their top thing, and then we all vote on how to what we believe is the best of our little group here. So even though we're throwing out 5 or 6 different person, if we all just get one and then we vote on one,
okay,
I mean,
as being the best, as in our opinion.
Because action movies have such a rich history, it's a genre that's gone on forever. I can't, in good conscience, put Maverick as number 1. It could be top 5.
Right. Yeah.
Not debating that. I personally couldn't put it as my number 1 above a Die Hard or a Gladiator. I would be okay with Die Hard 1. That's to me one of the quintessential action movies,
and a Christmas movie.
And it is a Christmas movie. Yes, it is.
It is.
I will fight you if you say otherwise.
I watched the movie right before Christmas, The Face Off, with Nicolas Cage and John Travolta. That movie was good.
That's a good movie.
But the script was it was not good at all. I didn't like the script about the whole movie.
So I think we do some injustice if we don't mention at least 1 or 2 Denzel Washington movies. So I'm going to go The Equalizer. Equalizer's a really good movie. The first one. I mean, I like the second one too, but I really like the first one.
We're kind of dancing around the. We got to pick one at the end of the segment.
Right.
It's kind of the whole point. So let's.
Right.
Okay.
So if I go ahead, if you vote.
Ahead,
I mean, if I'm going to
my
vote,
first
I'm going to
Gladiator. Yeah, go ahead, Brad. Go ahead.
If I'm going to vote, I'm probably going to pick Die Hard, probably.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Let's go Die Hard.
Die Hard.
Nothing wrong with that. So the point of the podcast is from now on, Die Hard forever. It's now fact. It is now fact that Die Hard is the best action movie of all time.
Of all time.
Fight me.
All right.
Of all time. Fight me. We have decided it. It is fact.
It's now fact.
I'm very prejudiced towards John Wick movies, though. Those are my. I would put those in that category.
All right.
That's just my opinion, though.
Yeah.
Everybody has one.
Yep.
Next topic, Travis. What's up?
That's
we're going to the next topic. Yeah.
Let's do it.
We are going to we're going to talk trivia, but specifically trivia team names. If you guys have ever played trivia at a bar or a restaurant, there's always teams that have their little fun personal names, or it's just someone has something really cliche, but then some team out of nowhere will just come up with some either really relevant team name that makes you laugh, or just something that's completely random that has no business being a team name. And I just want to know what's the best trivia
strategy.
team name.
I've
What's
got
the
it. So
strategy?
I need y'all to go first because I've got the name. I've got the name.
Just the name of your team. That's like if you were gonna go to a bar right now and you had to pick a trivia team name, what would it be? And we're deciding what the best one would be.
All right. So if I'm just to pick one, I think I know which one I'm going to.
Go for it.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah,
My trivia
bated
team
breath.
name is going to be the Red Hot Trivia Peppers. That's my team.
Okay.
name.
I like it. I have not heard that one.
Nope. Okay.
But I like it.
Red
I like
Hot Trivia Peppers.
John, you're up.
Break me off of that piece of that Kit Kat Hammonds.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So mine, it has nothing to do with trivia, and I don't know why, but this is just the most random combination I could think of at the time. But my go-to trivia team name has always been Puppies and Chainsaws.
Good one.
Puppies and Chainsaws.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really funny to listen to the guy reading the team names, like, oh, and in third place we have Puppies and Chainsaws. It gets a lot of really, really funny looks, and who named their team Puppies and Chainsaw? Why would you do that? And so that's the whole point of it, is just to get some really weird looks.
Right.
Yeah.
I got you.
So I'm not the originator of this. In fact, I heard this when I went to trivia. So this is not my team name, but this is, my God, It has stuck with me for 15, 20 years. She told me it was Razorburn.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that one. That one wins.
I told you, I've got the winner. I just was like, I'm gonna sit here because listening to that, and they got several questions correct, and it was hilarious. Just because at first you go, wait, what? You just look over it. I mean, it was hilarious, and yeah, it was awesome. And it's
I didn't even know what to say. I mean, there was a Kit Kat bar. There was a Kit Kat bar sitting here, so I didn't know. I just made something up in my head, man. Like,
yeah, so I'm also part of a Discord with it's a few other podcasts where I kind of met some other podcast people, and some of them will go to trivia and they'll be like, all right, we're going to Harry Potter trivia, we need a name. And then you start seeing all the comments flying in, and like one of them be like Harry Twatter and stuff like that.
There's one that I
So-
seen that was called Gatorade Milkshake.
I like that. Because I don't know what that is, and that sounds terrifying.
Yeah.
So,
And then there was another one I seen a couple minutes ago, huffing our way to first place.
Solid.
there you go.
All right, so yeah, if you guys are all good with it, let's go with She Told Me It Was Razorburn. and that will forever be the best.
I'm good with that one.
I won. Yes.
Yes, that's it. So, do we want to go into last call, or do we want to go to pick?
No, we'll
everybody's got to go get another drink. That's what they all got to do.
We'll pick a few games and then we'll go into last call. All right.
There you go.
Yeah, it's fine by me. I'm just gonna get another drink real quick. But I gotta go to the bar.
All right.
Let me go to the bar real quick. Hold on.
All right, it's right behind you.
All right, I'm back. That's incredible. I don't know how that happened.
Usually it's audio only, so you don't have to actually show what you're doing here. But all of a sudden, oh my God! Now you got to do. You actually got to act it out.
How did that happen? Let me go all the way.
Hey,
to the
I
other side
actually
of my basement.
got up and ran to the fridge to go grab another one.
I have a fridge over there, but it takes me a hot second to get over there with all the.
I used to have
one
right back there, but it is
so
no longer
I've got
there.
a few basketball games. The first game we'll talk about is Arkansas versus Auburn on Saturday. At Auburn. Does Auburn rebound off of their Georgia loss against Arkansas?
I don't think so. This
At
ain't
Auburn?
This ain't the same. I think Arkansas wins. Even Arkansas has got. I think they got a couple starters out. Nick Smith, and I think they lost one for the year to a knee injury. But this ain't the same Auburn team that played last year. They have the guards. They just don't have a solid big man inside that can handle a lot of teams. In Georgia, they just absolutely put it to them last night. And I just don't – I get it. It's at the Jungle. And, every time you go there, it's a hard game to play. I just don't think Auburn has the tools that they had last year.
So you think Arkansas is going to do it?
I think they go in and win on the road.
What do you think the point margin is?
I say it'll be between 5 and 6 points. I believe it'd be close because Auburn and Arkansas games are always pretty tight. I'm going
to disagree with you on this one.
I'll just say because Arkansas beat them last year at home, I think Auburn is going to get the revenge or not Auburn. I got tongue-tied. Arkansas won last year with a really good team Auburn had, and Auburn's team really ain't that good as they was last year. And I still think Arkansas is about as good as they was last year. And I still think, Auburn struggled down the stretch last year. You got to look, man. Alex said, these pretzels are making me thirsty as team name. That's a pretty good one. But I got sidetracked there for a minute. But, I don't know. I just wasn't impressed with Auburn the other night. That's just me.
Well, let's let Roberts talk. He's the Auburn fan. What do you say, Roberts?
Oh, Arkansas's winning. Let's just put it at that.
You think Arkansas wins?
It's not going to be. It's not. Yes, and I think this will be the first home loss in 20 something games. 30 something games. I don't remember what their home streak is, but anyway, this will be the first home loss in a long time. It will be by 15 or more. Let's just go ahead and put it. Yeah, it's not going to be close. Okay, and what you witnessed last night is but a microcosm of the entire season. Auburn.
Well,
Auburn's gotten away with playing like that a few times and gotten some victories that they should not have had. So, but
what I don't understand is why Pearl.
Team.
I don't know why Pearl didn't go to the portal and do more than what he did the whole summer. Like it was.
I mean, look, with what you would think that with what is there would be playing better, and it's just not right now. There's not been a real rhythm, a real flow to any game, and
maybe the Washington game that nobody saw.
While the guards like Wendell Green and the former Georgia guard
Johnson.
Johnson and even Zep Jasper is not really a point scorer. I mean, he is a true point guard.
KD Johnson too.
Yeah, you got KD Johnson, Zep Jasper, and then you've got Chance, and he started out being pretty good as an off the bench. They started him a few games, and then he just wasn't that great. But KD is so sporadic that you don't know what you're going to get with him.
He played like a
Wendell,
monster against Kentucky last year.
Every team plays monster against Kentucky, though.
there you go.
Just
I was
saying.
waiting on that.
We're
One. I was
everybody's
waiting
Super
on that
Bowl,
comment
man.
right there. But the
We're
deal
everybody's
is
Super
that it's never been a full game. It's never been where it just felt like the team was in rhythm, in sync, and anything like that. Everything just seems so distorted and it's never been that great this year. So you don't feel like that run in 2019. In that run, it didn't matter if any team had a 15, 20 point lead on Auburn. You knew that Auburn was going to come back and win. And this is just something that's
Open that up,
that
Hammonds.
I know who that is.
so
That's Dylan
But-
from Oklahoma.
I'm putting that up. He is a shady
like I
player,
said,
though.
it's not a it just never has felt like it's in sync. So that's why I'm picking against them. I don't think they're going to win, and I don't think it's going to be close.
See,
All right, Travis, do you have an opinion on any of this?
a little bit. I can't say I've watched a lot of Arkansas or Auburn, but I did try to do a little bit of research before tonight and watch some highlights. I just, when I look at least the raw stats and I look at the highlights, they're actually very close in terms of statistics when it comes to points allowed and points. Arkansas is usually about 5 more points a game. But then when you look at kind of like more of the turnover metrics, assists, I know assists aren't turnovers, but rebounds, assists, blocks, steals, all of the other things, Auburn has a really good advantage. And if they're going to be playing at home in that stadium, I think it's going to be a lot closer, kind of like their statistics would suggest. And it might come down to just a buzzer beater, 50-50 shot. So, I mean,
a lot of teams, they go into the jungle. They don't come out alive.
It's a tough
There's been some good teams. There's been some good teams go in there and they ain't been able to. They forget how to play basketball.
I got to actually go to a game at that at the new I guess now it's Neville Arena. They actually had a donor that paid a lot of money to put their name on there. But anyway, we had found we came across some free tickets. One of the bookstore owners down there gave us tickets when we were down there for baseball, and they asked if we were going to the game for the basketball game. So no, we couldn't get tickets. We weren't really. I mean, it'd be awesome to go, but we weren't really looking to go. And he gave us 4 tickets, got us in. We went there, and it was the Tennessee game, the last game of the season back in that 2019 season where they went to the Final Four. So it was right smack in the middle of that run. And yeah, we got in, and that place was rocking. It was awesome. Every seat in that arena is at maximum 40 feet from the floor. And I'm talking about like in distance from, if you were to go straight forward, you're 40 feet. So any one place that you could be in behind the last row, throw a basketball like a baseball, and probably land it on the court, as opposed to being in some of the larger arenas like in Tennessee or Kentucky or something like that. And you get in the very back row, and you're not going to be anywhere close getting a basketball to the court. So that's what makes it, and of course that's what makes it the way it is, because it's built straight up and everybody's right on you. The students are right on you on the whole entire side that they're on. And they will be loud and they will be rocking. I feel like this Arkansas team is going to do something that hasn't necessarily been done at Auburn Arena in a while.
If you haven't realized, Brad, Kentucky's everybody's Super Bowl, my man.
Well,
They
yeah.
bring out the white. They bring out the white shirts. They bring out the
Oh yeah,
corn
absolutely.
dogs. I mean, it's a big deal every time Kentucky comes to town.
Mm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
So,
not as big anymore.
you know, I'm
Well,
probably
it's not as big.
I'm
anymore,
probably going to
but the
pick.
name still.
I'm probably take Arkansas in that game. And then the next game we're going to talk about, since you're talking about UK, is UK and Alabama. They play at Alabama on Saturday. And I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I don't expect Kentucky to win that game. Alabama at home will be an awfully tough game. And Kentucky just hasn't.
Last year. We said
I know,
that last
but
year,
Kentucky just played well enough yet for me to say they're going to go in Alabama and win. So I'm going to pick them and pick Bama.
Same. Go.
Same.
Bama's got this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even think it'll be close.
Yeah.
Correct.
Roberts?
Bama wins by a lot. Bama wins by a lot.
I don't think that. I don't necessarily believe that.
Yeah, you don't have to. But I do.
What do you pick?
That's my pick.
I'm picking Alabama, but you're all acting like we're going to go down there and get blowed out. Like, it's not.
I'm going to be honest with you. It could be a 10, 12, 15-point game.
Yeah. It's going to be ugly.
Alabama is nothing but Brandon Miller.
Yep. And Kentucky cannot stop him at all.
Stop him.
Stop
Kentucky
him.
can stop
put on
him.
him?
They
Top
win
him?
the game.
Toppin?
I just don't see it.
Toppin.
But yeah, but like last year, we said going into the Alabama game last year, Alabama was favored by almost 15, and Kentucky went in there and won by 16.
That
17
team
points.
last year for Alabama was a joke. Okay, that team last year for Alabama
struggle
wasn't good. They were not good. So
yeah, they beat Gonzaga. They won.
So it doesn't matter. They still weren't that good. They're good.
Are you picking
Kentucky?
Are you picking Alabama?
I'm picking Alabama, but it's not going to be like you all saying it's going to be.
Okay. Creighton versus UConn. They play on Saturday as well.
UConn.
What do you think about that?
I got UConn. I think they'll bounce back from losing to Providence.
They've lost 2 in a row, haven't they?
Yeah, but it's hard to lose like that.
Hey, I saw some of that Providence last night. UConn did not look good.
Bryce Hopkins is tearing it up. That's another Calipari screw up.
Yep. Just doesn't let people get time and try to develop players, but we won't go to that. But
that's down another road.
Yeah. This is a game that Creighton could come in and win, who was a preseason top 10 team that would probably get them back in the conversation. I think.
It could. I'm going UConn, though.
Okay.
Yep.
Travis?
Yeah, give me UConn. I don't know much about Creighton, but
They have a few good guards. They have a good starting 5. They don't have much bench. That's their biggest problem.
And is it at UConn or is it at Creighton?
It is. It is. I think it's at UConn.
Oh, well then
the Gamble Pavilion. That's a hard place to play.
One of my things is bench will usually get you wins at home, and if you don't have bench, you're not going to win on the road. Like, you can't do it.
And so that's their problem. They don't have much bench. Yeah. Hammonds?
I said UConn.
Gone. All right. I want to take Creighton because I think Creighton has a game, but I'm going to kind of piggyback off of what Travis said. When you don't have a bench, usually comes back to bite you on the road. So
eventually you're going to break out.
I'm going to take you. I'm going to take UConn. And then also Saturday.
I'm trying to say something here.
All right, what? Go ahead.
I said eventually after 2 losses, eventually you're going to wake up and start playing better. It just takes time. I mean, surely they can't look bad 3 games in a row,
Right. It's possible. I mean, they should at home, so. And then we have Kansas on the road at West Virginia Saturday. West Virginia was ranked, I think, and then lost this past week, fell out. So it should be, Huggins has always got a scrappy team. It should be a tough place to play.
I'll say this, Kansas never plays good down there.
Yeah.
They never play good down there, Kansas don't. That's always been a tough place for Kansas to play.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with Kansas. If they
Okay, sorry.
Are you reading Rick's comment?
No, I'm not, but
if Kansas can go on the road and beat Texas Tech in that type of environment, they can beat West Virginia. What's going on?
Nothing. We're reading the comment. It's hilarious.
It's a chat comment.
I don't understand what it means.
It up.
Well, you'd have to be listening to the Bar Banter podcast, and Travis is notorious for terrible segues.
What's a segue?
Well, it's one of those things that you ride. You ride one of them.
One thing to another.
It's got two wheels. You lean forward and it goes. But other ways,
not that kind
other
of
segues are transitions between one topic to the next.
I just got confused on what that comment was. I didn't know.
Travis just doesn't do that very well, and his entire podcast rags him about it. And
that's probably why
this
I haven't
right here sounds like is this Rick from the podcast?
Yeah, that's Rick from the podcast.
Rick. Okay,
yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah,
That's Rick from the podcast.
And you gotta consider, I just learned about him a couple of days ago, so I don't really know.
I'm sorry.
I know Hammonds.
I don't really know much about it right now, so.
All right.
So you're taking Kansas, right? Roberts, are you taking Kansas?
Carry on my wayward son. It's a
Okay.
song by Kansas.
Yes, I'm aware. I'm a little older than you.
Yeah. See, there you go. There you go.
All right, Travis.
I'm gonna go. This is my one upset that I kind of picked because they're playing at West Virginia, and West Virginia is pretty crazy scoring team. I think they have I think they're like top 10 in points for, and they're playing at home. So let's take a shot in the dark. Let's take West Virginia for this one.
Okay. This is a game that I think Kansas hasn't, the last two games, they've snuck a game out, Texas Tech. So, I think it's a game that Kansas could lose. So I'll pick it too. I'll pick West Virginia to win at home.
Yeah.
And then Tuesday, do what?
Might be the best point guard. DeJuan Harris might be the best guard in the country. West Virginia's going to have their hands full.
I know that. I mean, it's Kansas.
I'm not saying you don't. I'm just saying in general.
It's Kansas. I mean, the Kansas is probably going to win the game. But if I pick one upset, just like Travis said, I probably would, because it's a tough place to play, and Kansas usually doesn't play well there. So it's probably a good pick for an upset. Tuesday, North Carolina plays at Virginia. North Carolina's kind of had a rough season. They're 10-5. They started preseason number 1. Virginia
just lost to Pitt.
They did just lose to Pitt. So I think they're 10-3 now. But they've been ranked as high as 2 in the country. And does North Carolina figure out and straighten their season out? Is this where they, get a big win and straighten their season out, basically?
They don't.
What do you think,
To me,
Roberts?
I don't feel like
All right, so Auburn got their colors from Virginia. They stole Virginia's colors. Auburn has the exact same colors as Virginia because the first football coach graduated from Virginia, liked the colors, and brought the colors to Auburn. However, Virginia double dribbled North Carolina.
I knew
Okay.
that was coming.
Are we picking teams based on jersey? I thought this was like a sports podcast stream. Like what
And
kind
you
of?
you guys have people that drink lady drinks.
That's fine. They're
I know that's fine.
delicious.
No, just
Oh lordy.
so why can't I pick a game just like
You
doing
can pick whatever game you want, but you're going to be wrong.
Maybe I'm wrong 50% of the time on this throw.
There you
So,
go.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'll take Virginia. I don't trust North Carolina away from home much.
I don't trust North Carolina at all, but I also have a bone to pick with Virginia. So
Virginia has a really good home court advantage at Charlottesville.
They do.
That's tough. That's a tough place to play.
Did you know that the Missouri arena was modeled after Virginia's arena, and that Auburn's arena was modeled after Missouri's arena?
No, I
So
didn't.
therefore,
not know
Auburn
that.
is modeled after Virginia.
So Carolina, I've always been a proponent that defense wins championships, but we're not in the playoffs right now, so offense is usually king. And Virginia's also lost 3 of the last 5, if I'm not mistaken, 2 away, 1 at home. So I'm actually gonna go. I guess this is another upset. I think UNC might be able to take this one. I just think
Okay.
they overwhelm Virginia, and they just. I don't think it'll be a blowout, but it could be a 5-7 point game.
Defense may win you
favor.
championships, but offense wins you games.
Yeah, you got to
That's
put.
what-
You got to put.
And UNC has the better offense.
There you go.
Yeah, you got to put points in the bucket.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
How do you-
sometimes UNC has even struggled at that. A few games.
Yeah,
Yeah. But I mean, in the
Hammonds?
I'm looking at it right now. Their last 5 games scored 100, 89, 80, 74 in a loss, and 88. So they're going to put
Right.
up probably close to 80 points, and Virginia doesn't usually come close to 80. So
I'll say
No,
Virginia.
You're going to say Virginia? I want to say Virginia at home because they don't lose too many at home. It is a tough place to play. And they usually win against a lot of good A teams at home. They usually hold court.
They beat Duke
So
there
I'm
one
pro-
year, I believe.
So I'm probably going to take Virginia in this game. But a 6th loss for North Carolina in this game is going to be pretty telling for them to be 10-6.
What gets me is Pittsburgh's the only undefeated team in the ACC.
Well, the next game is Pittsburgh at Duke on Wednesday night next week. Duke
Can we
just
say
got blown
Pittsburgh's
out by
officially
NC
back?
State. Do what? Yeah,
Can we say
officially back.
Pittsburgh is officially back? Hey,
Does Pittsburgh go into Cameron Stadium and beat Duke?
as bad as Duke's playing right now, I don't know.
That's basically what I wanted to know from everybody tonight. That's why I put it on.
Duke's not been playing good at all. Like there's no
They
movement.
haven't.
Their offense looks like. I'll just be honest with you. Them and Kentucky are probably the 2 disappointing teams in the country. And last night against NC State, that might have been the worst Duke. Duke's been beat pretty bad, but from an offensive standpoint, that was probably the worst I've ever seen a Duke team play offensively. They had no
They
idea.
were down 30 plus for most.
They had no idea what to do. Like they was, I don't know.
Yeah.
Now, Cameron Indoor is a hard place to play. So, as much as I want to pick Pitt, you can't go against the Devils at home because those fans are no joke. They get up in your face and they do those spirit fingers up in your eyes.
That's why I put it on here. Does Pittsburgh go into Cameron Indoor Stadium and win, even though they're undefeated, and Duke has been looking like crap lately?
I'll say this: if they go into Duke and win, you ought to put Pittsburgh as a team to watch in the NCAA tournament. Well, you should watch them now, but a team to maybe go to the Sweet 16.
Right.
Because ain't many people go into Duke and win many times.
No.
Don't happen very often.
You're right about that. But this is the first year without Coach K, and they are looking like it's the first year without Coach K. So
yeah, it's not been a good ride so far.
Travis, what do you say about this game?
Yeah, I gotta side with you. I think it's kind of a toss-up if it was at a neutral site game. Yeah, Duke hasn't been playing well, lost 2 of the last 3, but they're playing at Duke, and that's such an advantage over. That might be the best advantage in all of college basketball. I got to give it to Duke. Yeah. If everything's the same, yeah.
It's so
if everything's the
in.
same,
right. They're right on top of you.
Give it to Duke. Yeah, I got to go Duke.
Okay. Roberts?
So what I love about Duke fans is it's not just the fact that they're on top of you, but that it is organized. That whole section is organized.
Yeah, it's very organized.
And when I was a student, I tried to work with the sports marketing department to come up with a way to organize our fans, what little that we had show up for basketball games at the time that I was there. Now it's crazy what actually can take place over a decade, but God, I really want to pick the upset so bad. I want to pick Pitt.
You won't.
You're right. I'm a pansy.
I want to as well. I'm taking Duke. I'm taking Duke at home just because it's at home.
As the shutdown fullcast would say, and that is for Travis. If you don't know who they are, check them out.
I will.
This is a college podcast. If you want to know how to do college and comedy, or sports and comedy, check that out.
Yep.
Anyway, they have adopted Pitt as their football team. Now Pitt got really good since they've adopted them, and they always used to call their football team, they had the super weapon, and it was always charging. And then they would beat a team that they weren't supposed to beat, and that's the one time that it went off. And now they'll never beat another team again. They'll just be really bad for the rest of the year. They'll beat that one team they're not supposed to beat, and then they may lose the rest of the games. Mm-hmm. So, I want to have to shift the super weapon from being on the football team to being with the basketball team, because this would be the game to do it. However, it's still charging.
Yeah,
charging.
It's not time.
Charging. All right,
save it for a later in the season upset.
All right. Yeah. TCU come back and beat Baylor last night, and next Wednesday they play Texas at Texas. And TCU's looking pretty good.
A coachless Texas. Texas. One without their head coach.
Right.
What did
I guess
miss?
they got an
fired today. Fired today.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. He was suspended.
Chris Beard said Travis because of you, I guess. Chris Beard was fired today.
That's right.
But why was he fired? What did I miss?
Okay, so in December he was arrested on what was it, felony domestic abuse charges.
Oh, so not good.
Yeah, so nothing good, and so he was.
But I think the charges have been, hadn't they?
Yeah, but even then, I guess the what is the old line? You don't want to be.
I mean, the damage is.
You still don't want to have the appearance. You don't want to have the appearance, you know, of having that happen. And he had it. He was accused, and whether or not he actually did,
he was accused of strangulation and everything
out in the open. And the court of so the court of public opinion was fire him, and that's it.
That's what they did.
So I don't know if he actually did it.
I
don't. That's not.
Does TCU go into Texas and win next Wednesday night? They just done it to Baylor. They beat Baylor last night.
Yes, TCU wins.
Kansas State beat Texas pretty, So
yeah, they did.
Yeah. So you say TCU too, Hammonds?
I think they'll win Wednesday.
Oh, okay. Travis?
I am going to pull a John Roberts and TCU because I can't pick against them twice in the same episode. If I'm pulling for Georgia on Monday, I'm going to pull for TCU later in the week in basketball.
All right, I got you.
That's my only pick is just TCU.
Right? We're all going to be like this.
I'm going to take TCU in this game as well. Basketball game I was going to talk about is next Wednesday night. Alabama plays at Arkansas next Wednesday night. That ought to be
Can you imagine
a good SEC game to watch.
Alabama plays Kentucky, Arkansas, and LSU all back to back to back.
Yep.
Crazy. Whew. It's weird how the SEC has to play SEC teams and that they're all good.
The SEC this year in basketball is going to be an absolute bloodfest in conference play.
It is.
Yes.
I agree with you.
Every single night.
I mean, the fact that Georgia has 11 wins is insane. Or I think
the fact that Georgia beat an SEC team.
Well, what you're going to
shouldn't happen.
That's nuts.
Here's my thing. Your champion is probably going to have maybe 2-3 losses.
Tennessee.
You're going to have teams like Tennessee. Tennessee's going to win at home against Kentucky. Kentucky's going to come back and beat Tennessee at home. They're going to, like, different teams are going to split their home and home games.
So does Arkansas beat Auburn and beat Alabama at home?
Yes, they will be Alabama state champions.
I believe they'll beat Auburn.
Okay. Alabama state champions, Arkansas. Sorry, Arkansas.
But the return,
Arkansas.
Is it at Auburn?
Yes, it's at Auburn, and then the other one, the Bama game, is at Arkansas.
One.
Well, I think I'll go Auburn since I picked against Auburn. I'll go Auburn, and then Alabama will win. Do they play twice?
Sure, I don't know.
Alabama plays Arkansas next Wednesday night.
At Arkansas.
We're picking.
Oh, at Arkansas. I thought you said Auburn.
No, the Auburn game is at Auburn. But the Bama game is at Arkansas.
Okay.
Yes.
Where's is it? I'm gonna go Arkansas this one.
Okay.
Alabama's not too good on the road, but I say that they beat Houston on the road, so I mean, they're
good.
They're good, but they're not as good as they are at home. But nobody is really.
Of course.
Travis, what do you say?
It
ought to be a really good game. I'll tell you that.
Much of an opinion. Yeah, I'm looking forward to actually sitting down if I can. It's a 7:00 game, so I actually might be able to watch like half of.
Right.
While recording.
I'm just gonna. It is a Wednesday, isn't it? Yeah.
It
So,
is.
no,
Yeah,
I'll,
it's
I'll
Wednesday
watch
night.
like the middle third. Fine. It'll be
Right.
a middle third kind of thing. I'm gonna go with my guns. When I said earlier that points win in the regular season, so I'm actually gonna go Alabama. They're have a decent. They've played and will have really good competition between now and then. They might have their one loss before that, even though I picked them earlier. That maybe they slip up there and they win this game. So I'm going to go Alabama just to rock the boat a little bit.
Okay. Roberts?
The team with red and white will win.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Starts with an A.
That's right. They start with an A. That's right. The team that starts with
You're
an
not
A that has the
helpful,
colors
Travis.
red and white. There you go.
No, I'm gating and encouraging John so much.
You're not helpful here.
No.
I've already
not-
picked. Did you not hear
All
me
right.
earlier? I said Arkansas was Alabama state champs.
Yeah. Okay. I remember you saying that.
There you go.
I'm going to take Alabama just to be different.
You're probably right. You're not
All right,
different.
so
Everybody
then-
else has picked Alabama.
All right. All right. So, Travis, do you want to pick the TCU Georgia game while you're on with us?
Yeah. I'm going to go again, kind of like I was saying earlier. I'm going to be a realist. I'm going to go Georgia wins by 10 points or less. It's going to be a good, close game. It's going to be a hard fight. Duggan is going to try to carry
Teach
that
us
team
all.
and will them. Yeah.
It's going to teach us how to
will
Duggan.
them to achieve. Yeah, he's going to teach it. I don't even know how to do that, but we're going to learn on Monday.
I don't either. So,
yeah, we'll find out. It'll be something like we haven't scored less than 30. We being Georgia haven't scored less than 30 pretty much all year. So I'm going to go Georgia maybe
There was
35
one game, right?
and TC. I think it was the Missouri game
That's
or something like that. It'll be Georgia 35 and TCU like 26 or 27 or something like. It'll be a good close game.
okay. Hans, are you ready to take your pick on this, or you want to wait till Sunday?
I think I'll just pick tonight, I guess. I'm gonna go Georgia, 38 to 34.
God, that was actually in my head.
I think this is gonna be a shootout, and I think there's gonna be times where TCU is not gonna be able to match Georgia every single time, but they're going to get crucial stops at certain times. There could be a point in this game where TCU falls behind 14-0, 14-3, and they're going to come back and they're going to get back in the game because that's just what TCU does. That's just how they play.
Right.
But if I had to go based on history, I'm going to go Georgia because, they got better team speed. TCU, yes, they play with heart, but these Georgia guys have been there before. They know what to expect. They know how to handle things. I'm not saying TCU don't know how to handle things. It's just different when you've been in a bigger game than what TCU. This would be TCU's first trip
To the national championship, as
Yeah.
far as
absolutely.
in the playoff area, yes.
Georgia's been to 3
Yes.
Yes,
and lost one of them.
correct.
So Georgia's got the experience. They got the team. Experience, like I said, in the talent to take over this game late in the game. But I don't think it's going to be a blowout by any means. You don't know how bad I want to pick TCU, to be honest, because I've seen them all year long, and I've seen what they can do. It's just they're going up against a better team than what they see in the Big 12. I'll just leave it at that. Team speed wise,
Roberts, do you want to take your pick tonight, or do you?
So I wanted to say, that 38-34 score right there.
Well, too bad. Go lay down somewhere.
Yeah, I know. So I'm actually, debating as far as the score itself, because times when we think it's going to be a shootout, it often isn't. Because it ends up being still close, but it's not necessarily the amount of points that you think it's going to be. But just watching this game, I still feel like it could be a shootout. So I'm going 44-41. Yeah, 44-41, which would be a very high-scoring championship game. Most championship games are probably in the 20s or the 30s for the winning team.
They are.
Outside of when LSU and Florida and Bama blew out some teams, and I think even Florida, LSU, and Bama blew out some teams in the early 2000s, and then I think LSU absolutely wiped the floor with Ohio State in 2019.
Yeah, and they whipped Clemson in the championship.
Right. So anyway, I'm going 44-41. I'm even going to go as far as to say that Max Duggan gets a touchdown with a minute or less in the game. And then Georgia kicks the field goal as time expires. Dogs, 44-41.
Do that again. Did you just do it?
Horned frogs.
Hey,
it's okay. Yeah, we could get ourselves all out here talking about LSU. We go out there, go Tigers, and but instead we got the whole frog. What the hell's a whole frog? I don't know what that is.
Well, okay, what tickles me is everybody jumped on Brad, but Brad wanted Sonny Dykes to be coach of the year all season long. Like he was on top of it.
I did, y'all. So this is a game for me. Dykes. I do like Sonny Dykes, and I have rooted for him all year long. It's hard. Listen,
speechless.
This is the one team that could be there that is possible that I would not pick Georgia for. Okay.
Yeah. I get that.
I mean, it really is, because I'm an SEC guy to start with, and 9 times out of 10, I'm going to be rooting for the SEC team. And I'm not saying that I'm not. It's just one of those kind of torn.
The devil went down to Georgia. Okay, just remember.
I like the underdog, the Cinderella type aspect to this game. TCU was 5-7 last year. Brand new coach, Sonny Dykes, comes in. They were unranked. Season. Georgia was preseason 1, been the darling of college football for the last 2 years. And gosh, there's a part of me that really wants to see Sonny Dykes and Max Duggan in this. There really is. But I just think Georgia's Georgia. And, I think it's going to come down. Listen, the only way that TCU stays in this game is if they put up a lot of points. If TCU only scores 21.
I got a question for you. Go ahead and finish it, and then I'll ask the question.
TCU only, if they struggle to put up 21 points or whatever, they don't have the defense that is going to hold Georgia to 20 points and then 21-20. I just don't think that's going to happen. If they can put up 42 points and, have a little bit more time of possession and everything else and put up a lot of points, then,
they don't need time of possession.
Maybe there's a chance. Well, I'm not really talking about time of possession. I'm talking about possessions in the game and keeping Georgia from having certain possessions in the game. If that happens, then I think TCU might have a chance if they can put up 42 points or something. But my brain tells me that the score is going to be like 38-28. That's what my brain tells me. And Georgia's out by about 10. So I guess that's what I'm going to go with. But I'm going to tell – go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say I think you're right. I think this is a difficult game to pick because if I, as a Georgia fan, was going to lose to a team, TCU in the way they've played is a fantastic team to lose to. I respect them.
It is.
Kudos to them. I enjoy watching them play. That would be fantastic. However, when it comes down to it, UGA has depth at every position. And if
they do,
TCU can't keep up and can't sustain the level of play for 4 quarters with Georgia, to your point, they are not going to keep Georgia from scoring less than 30. They have to outscore Georgia, period, the end. And I don't know if after 6 months, Duggan can he's going to get his, but is getting his 20 points or is it 40 points? So that's where, I think you're onto something there, and it could be a 10-point game. I don't think it's going to be more than 10 points though. It'll be a close, good game though.
All right, so I guess that's what I'll go with. But I'm gonna tell you, if the opposite happens, I still will be happy for Sonny Dykes, TCU, and Max Duggins. I honestly will.
Agreed.
Now, Stetson Bennett will be heartbroken again if that does happen. Like he almost
he's
was.
come back for an 11th
He's going to be crying at no matter what.
Either
way.
You're right.
The game will end and Stetson will be crying.
Yeah, right. You're absolutely right on that,
man.
All right, Travis, do you have a last call for us?
I mean, I guess I do. I haven't heard. Do we want to get another drink real quick?
I think we should.
I
think the bell is ringing for a last call.
Someone, yeah. Everyone, go to the bar real quick. Hold on.
Yeah, the last call.
All right. So the way this is gonna work, we're gonna do about 5, essentially, would you rather questions. I'm gonna go kind of round robin style. I'd like to separate the Johns to avoid confusion. So I'd like to go John Roberts, then Brad, then John Hammond. And
when we go back to back, as you come back around, then the Johns will be together.
Yeah, but I will be separating you guys with a new question, so it won't be that weird. And we're not doing like a snake style draft where we're gonna reiterate. No, it'll just be Roberts, Brad, Hammond. So we're gonna avoid confusion, and I want you guys. The object of this exercise, this segment, is to try to answer these as quickly as you can. Your first, your gut reaction. Don't
first instinct.
You can go and then yeah, just whatever comes to you. Sometimes it takes a second, but don't dwell. I'm gonna rush you if you're taking too long. So
all right.
Yes.
So do each one of us get a different question?
No. It's the same question, and then it goes me, you, John, and then he'll ask another question, or he will answer himself, and then ask another question.
All right.
Me,
I was just
you, John, and it'll just go real quick, like
each
that.
one of us gets a different question.
No, same question.
we tried doing that. We tried doing that format at one point, and it didn't work. This is just a lot simpler. So we just kind of stuck with it. And yes, the person at the end technically gets a little bit more time because they're hearing the question in real time, but it's not that much time.
Right. I got you.
So, do you have Roberts? You got the last call music I sent you, right? You want to go ahead and play that?
Oh shoot, I don't have that at all.
I don't. Okay, I didn't send you that.
Closing time.
There you go. Please don't start singing. All right, let's get into it. Roberts, would you rather be bored all the time or be too busy all the time?
Busy.
Brad.
I'm going to say busy as well.
And Hammond.
I'm gonna say busy.
All right.
Wow, unanimous.
Yep, that was same, and that was we're starting off with a softball. Next
there you go.
question: would you rather not have turkey on Thanksgiving or not get any Halloween candy on Halloween? John Roberts.
God, we'll go turkey. I don't necessarily have to have turkey.
Okay, Brad.
I'm gonna. Halloween. I love Halloween. I'm going turkey for Thanksgiving. I can do without it.
And
I think I want to go Halloween.
So you don't want Halloween candy?
No,
Okay,
I don't eat it anyways.
that's fair. I'm gonna go turkey as well. I have a sweet tooth, and I eat all of my kids' candy.
And I teach my kids taxes. The tax code is you owe me.
Yep.
10% of what you get.
The dad tax is real. John Roberts, would you rather have neighbors who were noisy, makes a lot of noise, or neighbors who were nosy?
Noisy neighbors. I do not like you big in my face.
Did you say
Noisy
or nosy?
Noisy. I would rather be.
Yeah. Noisy. Okay.
You'd rather them not be noisy? Is that what you said?
No. I'd rather them be noisy than nosy.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Brad, what about you?
God, I hate to agree with everything he says, but I think I'd rather them be noisy than nosy. I don't like nosy people.
Yeah. John Hammond.
I'd rather them be noisy. Noisy.
Noisy. Yep.
God, we are boring.
Yeah. Hey,
I hate to agree with you every time.
The next two are gonna get a little weird, so we'll get a little. Hopefully, there's some. Would you rather, John Roberts? Would you rather let a random stranger lick you or lick a random stranger?
Oh my God.
Yep.
I guess
is
them.
This is a trick question.
Because I'm not sticking my tongue somewhere that I don't know where it's been.
Oh, me neither.
Yeah.
I mean, and they could be just the arm. I mean, they didn't say where.
Yeah, it's just Brad, were you the same? You'd rather?
Yeah,
I got dogs that lick me. So
it definitely didn't.
I'd rather
say
somebody.
where.
Didn't say where.
I'm going to sick me. I'm not doing. Tell you that.
Yeah, I'd rather somebody lick me. Yeah.
So the only reason why I would potentially disagree is if I'm licking someone else, I have the option. I have the choice I would lick where if someone else is going to lick me, they may have the option, and I don't know where they're going to lick. So that kind of terrifies me.
That's true.
So I would be able to pick the arm and feel okay with that. Yeah. All right. So this one, again, might be a little creepy, but this is going to be the last one, and that's what we're here for. Would you rather find a hidden camera in your bathroom or your bedroom? John Roberts.
Yes.
Yeah. Real thinkers.
Bathroom. Because because they're gonna see a lot of shit, and it's gonna be awesome.
Literally. Brad, bathroom or bedroom?
Well, heck, I'm gonna say bedroom. I'm gonna say bedroom. Just put on a show for him.
It's the first time.
There you go. You like? I knew you were the type that liked to show off. I knew it. I knew coming in.
Listen,
spotlight.
I'd rather find
you see the highlights than the lowlights.
I'd rather have to find a camera in the bathroom because, listen, in general, shady stuff goes down in the bedroom. Let me just tell you.
Yeah, but do you want the highlights or the lowlights?
Well, I mean, depends on who you want watching.
Yeah, well, I mean,
you don't want everybody in your neighbor to watch.
Oh, just be one webcam. You don't know who's watching, so.
And you don't know where that shit is.
No,
That's
you
true.
do not. Well, so that was last call. As you guys kind of picked up on, some of the early ones were probably a little boring, but not too bad. But as we went on and got a little weird, there seemed to be a little bit more conversation, at least, and difficulty in making those decisions, and that's all about. We're asking the hard questions that nobody asks.
That's right.
I didn't hear you answer bathroom. That's what I didn't hear.
Oh,
he avoided it.
I'm gonna go bathroom because I have some poops that I'm very proud of that I need to show off to the world.
Hey, everybody, come take a look at this shit.
I finally and just be like, look at it.
Look at how good I look.
Exactly.
Ron Burgundy, right there.
There you go.
This is the
Come on,
news.
I'm pulling last episode right there from you, right there.
And just remember, this is my stream, and you guys are just along for the ride.
Oh, hold on.
Sorry.
Yeah, there you go.
My bad.
This is our podcast, brother, and you, my friend, are just along for the ride.
Yeah. The Hulkamaniac is happy with you, man.
Brother, it's our podcast, brother, and you. Sorry, there's the camera. There it is.
Did you know, honest to goodness, that I can actually do the Paul Bear impersonation as good as anybody?
Do it. I don't believe you.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I don't believe you.
Oh, the Undertaker!
I can do the Undertaker pretty good. Here it is, right here. Watch this.
That was pretty good.
It is.
The dead man rises. Oh, this has been fun, boys.
Isn't that the
I don't know
Michael
if you
Myers?
can tell, but I did over
You gotta
1,000.
consider though that Percy Sledge though with the Paul Bear. You got to think he put on that makeup every single evening to do that.
You know who else wears makeup?
No, but what I'm
Sting.
saying, that's a hard thing to do. What he was doing, like he was with the Undertaker, because the Undertaker's the spotlight basically, and he was trying to be his manager, and that's a hard job to what he was really doing, to be honest.
I got a would you rather. Would you rather be a heel or a baby face?
I'd rather be a baby face. I never did like Stone Cold as a heel.
Heel
I don't know the
or
reference.
I'd say babyface.
Good guy or bad guy in wrestling terms?
Okay.
I'm bad guy.
I'm probably a bad guy.
Yeah. I have more
you're
fun being
already a bad guy. What else is new?
I'm probably a bad guy.
I'd be the Joker.
I'd play a better bad guy than to play a good guy.
Yeah, I'd be the Joker.
Yeah, you're a good guy. Ain't winning any popularity contest.
Hey, real quick, Brad, I've got to ask, where did you get a Packers Kentucky shirt?
Oh, that's what I want to know.
That is a good question. How did you get that? And do they make Auburn instead of Kentucky? Because that's a terrible blue.
I don't know.
It's a terrible green and yellow is what that is.
But I actually ordered this off of Facebook Marketplace.
So now
it was on Facebook Marketplace like 3 or 4 years.
All you need on that shirt is a star, and you'll be living the high life.
There's never going to be a star on one of my shirts. Just so you know.
He likes all the undercards. He is a very much
There's
a
never going to be a star on one of my shirts.
He likes assists.
Especially a blue star.
Oh, he is definitely a red star.
All right, guys. I guess we're going to wrap this up. I do want to say thanks to Travis Jennings for being on with us tonight, having a little fun with us.
I apologize for not being on.
And yeah, man, we want to say we appreciate you being on.
I just want to say
this was a lot of fun
at the beginning.
I apologize for it being so late.
Yeah.
I apologize for getting here late. I don't know what I'm gonna have to figure it out once I get off here how to log in and leave it up instead of having to go through Facebook and whatnot.
Well, none of us will be on here to be able to confirm whether you actually were successful.
Well, I mean, I'm not talking about tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
John Roberts.
All right. Well, so I do real quick that we kind of joined a network today, the Fanboys Podcast Network, and that's why it says at the bottom, brought to you by the Fanboys. They are Winning Edge Sports Network, and we're excited to be a part of them. I want to say that before we get off the show. I did have their logo up at the top, and it does say that at the bottom as well. And that just happened an hour and a half, 2 hours before we
probably an hour
took that.
That's incredible, by the way. That's amazing to be picked up and be a part of a bigger network that can hopefully support you guys and introduce you to other people in your space and allow you to actually grow and
like
give you those tools.
15 other podcasts.
Kudos.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
15 other sports podcasts have access to like Clemson and Tennessee and Notre Dame, and like Oklahoma's on one of the teams. Texas is one of the teams. I mean, they got just a big teams. And are super excited that they contacted me. They kind of chose us, and they chose College SportsCast. That says a lot about what we are doing, guys. And I
got to tell a funny story real quick, Travis. One of the guys.
Hold on, wait. Let me get in story time position. 1 second. Okay, go. Get your Meerschaum pipe.
We was in a chat, and the guy said, if I'd have known John was a host on your page, I would have known y'all would have joined. And Brad said, please don't get him the big head.
Some call him Brad Big because he is big head, Big Eddie.
Yeah, I thought that's pretty funny. Like Brad just like over there, and
So much.
like Brad's just another guy, and he's like, "Hey, John, have I done not?" And Brad's like, "Please don't give him the big head."
Well, see, they contacted me. They come through me, but apparently they already knew John. Once I contacted John and said, "Hey, these guys contacted me," they were, and they knew John. So and from
I used to run a space with a lot of them.
Yeah.
I used to have a space every Friday night, and I'm not even on the spaces anymore. They just got.
But what that does tell me is that they seen us through the podcast that we were doing and was interested in the podcast that we're doing. So that's
a good thing.
Yeah, an absolute stellar thing for us, and we appreciate everybody that's been on with us and helped us along the way. So I just want to throw that out there, and I agree with Travis.
I didn't know Rick.
It is a huge deal.
I feared Rick would join tonight, Travis.
He had to schedule, and he just was not able to get off and join us tonight.
So there's just two of you, right?
I really
no, there's like four.
/ 5 of us.
There's four.
There's 5. Yeah.
Drew, I love Drew to death. But he doesn't know anything about sports. He'll come up, so just me tonight, but we'll be able to come and have the whole crew and things.
All right. We appreciate it. Just so Restream can actually pair the two shows together, and you can run them simultaneously at the same time. Just so you know, if you ever want to do that.
That's good to know. That, yeah. I'll have to wait till Black Friday again to purchase it.
Right.
Well, I mean,
right. I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. All right, man. Well, we appreciate everybody being on with us, and we're going to close this out and say good night, and we will see you down the road.